Welcome back to A Game of Fate. I'm assuming welcome back because this is the final part of Session 0, and why would you listen to this without listening to the others? With that in mind, I won't bother explaining what's going on. As I say, this is the final part of Session 0 of the campaign game. After this, there will be another one-shot game. Then hopefully Session 1 will take place after that, continuing the story of this game you're listening to now. We should have our website up by the time you listen to this, so find agameoffate.wix. Find this show on Twitter at A Game of Fate Pod, and find it on A Game of Fate podcast on Facebook and other places. Also find our other show, the Deleted Scene podcast, where we talk movies and films and TV and other stuff. That's Deleted Scene Pod on Twitter, or the Deleted Scene podcast on Facebook and iTunes and SoundCloud and all other places you can find podcasts. If you're enjoying the show, please do give us a like, a subscribe, a review and all the other good stuff, and just tell other people to listen to it because it's just so very good. But let's dive straight back in. Our heroes have broken into a WX Corporation facility to investigate the strange happenings of the city of San Magdalene. They've been confronted by a man who appears to be able to create fire out of nothing. And now they must find a way to escape from this rapidly burning building. I'll talk to you again in the outro.
So who goes first?
Lee is going first. Jay is going first.
And what are the zones? Just
The zones would be the seating area, the reception, this corridor, these rooms, each be a zone, this corridor, this room.
Okay.
So everything that's for entity.
The X's are on fire.
The X's
No, the
are
X's
you
are.
and
Oh.
him.
So hopefully not on fire.
Do you think we should just peg
Yeah.
it?
That's what I'm thinking.
What's that?
Just
Peg it.
Sure, but we'll have to get through the fire.
Well, apparently the doors are not massively on fire.
They just they've
Possibly the
started to
flames,
catch a flame, and they were open already anyway. But
Possibly.
yeah, you are having to move between two doors that are on fire to get back into that corridor.
Could you use your telekinesis to open them?
Yeah. Try and bust them off the hinges.
Is there any way that I can go first?
You're going last.
But can you do it too? Like you're just not.
Can he
like
hold
where
his
you
turn
can
then?
Get someone
Thing like
else
that.
to go first.
It says that's effectively not taking a turn. To...
Are all the files between us all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
split between us all. Okay.
I think we should just head back. But I mean, how wide is the space between the two burning doors, or did they like close again and then they're both on fire? So we're
They've closed.
They're closed, and it's okay.
They were on closes.
Can you? Do you reckon you can get
Maybe.
the doors off with telekinesis or move?
I could try to smash them off their hinges. We've either got burning doors or a nutter
Yeah.
Clearly, you have both.
to get through.
I can shoot, said Nutter.
You also have this corridor on this side, but you don't know where it goes.
Okay.
You have to go down there.
I mean, that could be fun. Just for
Yeah,
the sake
but
of-
do we just want to wound him, or do we want to?
Yeah, I don't really want to.
He'll still be able to use his powers when he's wounded though, so I don't know how that would help us.
I think I'm just going to wait for someone to.
Just going to stand there just going, I don't know what to do! Lee and Chris, you're Banjo and Garrett.
So in that
Chris,
case,
you want to go first? Chris,
Yeah.
got something.
Yeah.
Useful.
I'll well, or should I throw the drinks machine at him?
Crush him against that wall.
Yeah.
But then we have to wait for your turn again to open the doors.
Okay. I'll throw the drinks machine through the doors all the times to keep them open.
Sure, yeah. So using your powers, you take it all again and shove it as fast as you can. It's quite heavy, but you smash open the door and you can pin one of the burning doors to the side.
Okay. And then
the
I'm
door is now
gonna
open.
leg it through there.
You're going to move into that zone,
Yeah.
yeah. So you then move into corridor going, run, the way is open! Lee,
Yeah, just run.
Sure. you move into that, and you also move into that zone, and Morgana.
So you guys, you're still where you are. You put the vending machine through the door.
Yeah, we're heading down.
Okay. And I can do one thing on my turn.
Yeah, and move as well.
And move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to spend a fate point to use my companion influence to try and calm the guy down.
Sure.
So I'm giving you a fate point.
Okay. Make a conflicting contest rapport. Which yours is massive. Oh, okay, I rolled well.
1.
Really?
Yeah.
He beat you on that then. Yeah, he's seems way too agitated for
Okay,
your
then
powers to take effect.
Gonna use my movement and just run.
What's he muttering to himself?
He seems to be saying something along the lines of, they said this wouldn't happen, they said it would be fine.
Use my movement to run through the door.
Sure, yeah, you trace after. This guy lunges forward and he's going to take a swing at you, Jay, with his mighty fist.
Has he got
It
a
is
mighty fist?
So make
Well,
a
let's
fight
use
roll
drugs.
if you have a fight skill. Oh, shit.
0.
+3. You take 3. He swings and just
What?
clocks you across the side of the face. He seems unusually speedy for this sort of dishevelled homeless man. And just
And
clocks you
strong.
across the side of the face. You take 3 levels of stress.
How far away is everyone?
Maybe
Down the
just
side
in
of
the
the
next
door.
zone.
Just come through the door.
It's far down there.
I'm gonna run from this dude.
Just run into the corridor, yeah.
Yeah.
So you move into that zone. Chris and Lee, Andrew and Garrett, try and use your character names. I'm trying to.
You're doing good. I'm thinking about chucking that machine back at him as hard as I possibly can. And then pegging it further. Is Jay's through the door?
Jay's
right?
come through
Yeah,
now into
yeah.
the corridor. He seems to be a bit shaky on his feet. He's taking a clock to the side of the head that he was not expecting.
I'm gonna chuck that
Vending machine.
vending machine.
Sure. So you concentrate with your powers and launch. Make a sort of roll for that would be. Just make a roll with a +2 because it's a telekinesis.
So you do have to spend a fate point to do that.
No.
He's got telekinesis all the time, but he has to roll for it.
4 in total.
He's gonna try. Oh, he's probably not going to dodge that. Definitely not. Okay, so he begins to give chase after Adam,
Jay,
and then you
Adam.
just turn around and go. "Wah!" And the vending machine flies out, smashes into him, and the door closes automatically behind. So you know it's between him.
Success.
Let's run, guys. Let's get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Running.
I guess I don't know where the way.
Benny Hill music.
Yeah. You can hear his cries and shouting. And you can hear the flames building behind you as you run out into the circular room, and Garrett's like, "Quick, this way!"
I mean, we may have just left him to burn to death.
He started it.
Them's the
Start
breaks.
it.
And you run down the corridor where you've been before, and you can find the fire exit really easily ahead of you. And whoever's going first just barges through, and it opens up easy enough, and you're immediately outside. And you can see smoke coming out the top of the building at this point.
Where's
Should
your
we just
car?
head for the car?
Yeah, beg it for maybe call the fire brigade as well. Oh,
As I
I
say,
don't know,
it's
they
a
might
whiff.
get killed.
I
Jump in the
don't
car,
know. It's
shall
an
we?
ethical dilemma there, isn't it? Do we leave a man to die, or do we
he a
possibly give
man?
other people their deaths by his hand?
Yeah.
Is there anything that we can actually do?
Is it... Well, someone's going to call the fire brigade anyway because of
We'll
all
get
the
in the
smoke.
car. Who's throwing it, George?
George.
Can he call someone while we're getting away?
Yeah. I'm just trying to work out, do we want to leave completely?
Your phone starts ringing.
Yeah.
It's George. Is the building on fire?
Yeah, it
Oh,
is.
smoke! What's going on? Are you alright?
We're outside now. Come around to this side.
Sure, yeah. He hangs up, and after you hear a car start up out front, and after a second he pulls round. He's on the other side of the fencing still. He pulls round to the street nearest.
Okay, so I'm just going to put my files over and then hop over and then gather them all up again.
Sure. Okay. Everyone's just gonna hop over the fence as well.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have a quick look back to see if there's any indication of him still being alive.
You can't tell unless you're gonna wait and see.
I'm really not going to hang around and wait, so I'm just going to head straight for the car.
Yeah, Morgana runs up and chucks the files or posts them through the side of the fencing and sort of scampers over the top, starts picking them back up
I
again.
mean,
I'll wait for the other guy.
unless we did see fire extinguishers right there on the walls when we ran out.
Hey, it's dangerous hanging around in these
Go.
old buildings.
Go. I'll wait until you guys have gone, and then I'll follow you.
What?
Because he's being a martyr.
Well, how long are you intending on waiting?
Just until you're over the fence, then I'll join you.
Right.
Hopping over
So
the
I'll
fence.
get over the fence.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, so I'll say, Garrett, you sort of climb from the fence, then it sort of gives way slightly under you and falls down. So you sort of bounce a bit, but the fence is more or less fallen down. So you sort of step off, and you're okay, you're outside.
Yeah.
You weren't really up for climbing up. You know, you're 65 or whatever. You're not be climbing fences at your age. This was much easier.
You gone as well?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to join them in the car.
Sure, you can
Just run over.
jump through the hole. That
Yeah,
Garrett
always
made.
let him go first.
No, that was lucky. Yeah, the building is slowly catching on fire now, as you can see. It was like, Jesus fuck, what the fuck did you guys do? Did you just go in there to set the place on fire?
Shut up, George.
Don't we just shut up?
Need to George, you just want to help.
Sick of this bloody show tunes.
Jeez, alright. He starts the car up again and drives up at speed.
Take us back
As
to
you
the
see
fox.
the building burning behind you.
Well, there's some of the files that we didn't look at.
Yeah, we didn't look at the
The
cure, did
cure.
we? Should we just have a rifle through that in the back of the car?
It's probably a bit awkward. You probably just chucked them in the boot or whatever. With these, or you're sort of
Hopefully it's
in a
not going
jump
to tell
on
us
the
how
back.
to save that dude.
Yeah. More so about leaving that dude there. I think this is going to bring attention.
From the police.
Well, not
department.
so much.
Not-
I mean,
not so
abandoned
much.
buildings get set on
Yeah,
fire.
no,
all
but
the
not
he's
so
time.
much the
homeless.
police, but in terms of WX, who obviously,
How do we
once
know?
they find out that...
Yeah,
this
but
other
how do we know
facility-
that WX didn't set him as the guard dog in the first place?
Well, they could have done.
Cut to you guys back at the back room of the Flying Fox, and you're there, and the files
Oh,
are
you
all
might-
arranged.
So what
Martinis
time of day
there.
is it? Are we...
My
It's now probably
Martini.
about midnight, very late, and the files are laid out on the poker table where the game had been, and you can see them all.
So
sort
the
of lying
police
there, including
would've-
did you take the danger with you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
including that empty file that just
It's
says
still
the danger
empty.
on the front, just
Hasn't
laying
magically...
on top there. Have you
Materialised.
put the island, or have you tried to keep that one?
I've put it on the table, but
Ow.
I'm keeping an
Stab
eye on it.
myself with a
Okay.
pencil. Can I get John. Can I get John to tap into any of the emergency services or anything to pick up?
Yeah, he's probably done that before.
Yeah, if there's been a
I mean,
fire
how
in
long
that
did it
facility.
take us to get back? I
Maybe
suppose
20
we're a
minutes
couple
or
of
so.
miles
You
away,
can
so-
hear that the he does sort of do his little. He's probably got a little gear set up, ready to do that already, and you can tell that he can tell you that there's someone seems to have reported a fire, just down the way over in the downtown bit. So
Can he listen into like any of the Really
yeah, I mean,
interesting.
I guess I can.
whilst we just cipher through the files, just
Yeah,
let me
should
know
we
if
have
there's
a...
any chatter, basically, what they say was the occurrence and things like that.
Sure, yeah, I can do that. And he
And if
pops his
there's any
headphones on and settles
fatality...
into listen.
Cool.
Let's have a look at the cure then.
I mean, in a sense, I'll be more concerned if there aren't any fatalities.
Yeah, because then he knows who we are.
Then we know he survived it.
Unless he's been taken away by WX. Yeah, so let's look through the folders we didn't look through. So I think...
They seemed to promise him that he could stay there
Yeah.
and that nobody would disturb
Well,
him.
I'm sure he was one of the doctors. He was one of the old staff rather than one of the patients.
Maybe security?
That's strange. He seemed to be... I mean, he wasn't setting that fire. He was actually creating it.
So what's in the cure?
The cure seems to refer to a bloodline that is potentially the cure for basically everything. Some sort of ancient bloodline that is
Like ancestry? bloodline?
like a family line whose blood can.
And there's
Cure
nothing in the
disease.
files that.
Oh no.
And,
gonna take
and there's
that one
nothing
as
in the
well.
files that relates to this guy. I mean, I think we would have
Doesn't seem to have,
noticed,
no,
but
no.
no spontaneous
No fire
human
starter.
combustion.
No fire starter guy mentioned.
Pyrokinetics.
Okay, so just to get our heads around what we've got here, we've got the anomaly. Have you guys shared the other folders? Do we all know what's in all the folders at the moment?
Unless you say
I've
otherwise,
shared
I'm assuming
everything
you
that I
are.
have.
Cool.
Have you still got that monkey with you?
Yeah.
Oh, you still got the
I
golden
have
monkey.
no need for it.
Yeah.
So we've
You
got
place
the
it out on the poker table with the other
Yeah.
stuff. This little golden monkey statue.
And we've got a folder
big
which
grin there.
says it appears when there's.
Natural disaster.
Yeah.
So we've got the anomaly, which is
Yeah, I'm
Garrett.
not sure I'd want to keep it in my house.
I just want to
No.
go through the mistake file again and just go through it more closely. See if I can pick up any extra things to learn more about.
Yeah, you've got time to read the files
Yeah.
properly now. The mistake is largely talking about the accident that happened to you and how they covered it up.
How did they cover it
Oh.
up?
They just had a team ready to go straight in as soon as they heard that something had happened. They filled in the tunnel. They made sure they got rid of all of the evidence. It's just details on that.
Yeah. Is there anything after? Like, is there any kind of surveillance or anything that they've kind of charted about my life after that accident?
There is. They did monitor you for a while, but it seems like they gave up.
So are we sharing the information with each other as to whose files belong to who?
But Yo Banjo isn't.
Yeah.
No,
You are.
you saw his file, yeah.
Okay.
So
So
we
you've got
know
the
he's-
anomaly is Garrett, the boy is Yo Banjo, the mistake is Jay, and there's no file on Morgana.
So as far as you know, the island doesn't have anything to do with me. So I'm not telling anyone about that.
So are all the have you still got that folder on you, that file on you?
No, it's on
Yeah,
the pile.
It's on the
all
pile.
thing.
And can I is there any more information on
I want
that
to make a
now that I'm
notice
looking through
on
it?
Morgana if she's behaved differently on any of these files.
Oh,
Best roll I think I've ever done on
You're
6.
pretty good at this, aren't you? Yeah, you notice that as you guys look over it, Morgana immediately picks up the island file again and starts reading through it, which is the one that she picked out first from the cabinet.
is there
If you
anything
remember
else?
it being the one that
Yeah.
she picked out
Is
first.
there anything else I noticed now? I'm reading it more carefully.
Yeah, you can get in more detail. It talks about tracking the island, some of the newer stuff, other than the myth stuff. It talks about tracking the island and assembling a team to go and find the island. And it talks about the expedition that would eventually go there.
But the expedition hasn't happened yet.
Hasn't yet, but you do
But
notice...
that was 20 years ago.
Now that... No, it wasn't. You notice that
Oh.
now, weird as it may seem, the file seems much more up-to-date than 20 years ago. It seems like it has information that's only maybe a few years ago.
Was there any names on a possible team? to go and
Yeah,
have
no,
it?
there's a crew list, which includes James.
James was on that list.
Yeah, crew list of the ships to go into the island,
What a dick.
the expedition. He told you that.
Yeah, but she doesn't know, really.
Well, he was on the ship that arrived that was looking for the island.
Okay. And this, I'm going to have a close look at the cure. Does it have any more details in that? Do they have any ideas about who this bloodline is, or?
No, it looks like they were trying to track it down, and they maybe even succeeded a couple of times, but there's
Where
no
where
of
they
what.
gone to find in past successful?
Just around, just as nothing magical about it as such. They just
Okay.
they tracked down the bloodline, found the current the current ancestor, and
Who was the current ancestor? Does it say?
the last one they found was probably maybe was about maybe more than 30 years ago. It was a while ago since they found somebody, and it just details them, but it doesn't say whether they contacted them or what they did about it or anything.
Does it say what their name is?
Yes, his name was Thomas Simpson.
Simpson. Cool. So just to summarise, we've got the anomaly, which is basically Garrett. We've got the home, which is about the house,
a house
that was
that
at the
was
ghost
sometimes
story.
there and sometimes not.
Yeah, and people who went in there never came out. We've got the island, which is sort of like myths and legends about sirens and finding a mystery island. We've got the Lonely, which is a small.
It's about a
Something
man
living on the
underground.
underground train, the tube system.
We've got
A
the,
creature.
a
It
creature.
was described as.
We've got the Believers, who are a cult who
May or may not still exist.
may or
it's
may
not
not
clear.
exist, and they sort of believe in slightly.
Do we know what they believe?
The file doesn't seem to know.
Oh, okay.
It just speaks of an organisation that appears every now and then doing something, and
And
they
it's
just
the
find
same
they just find
information.
word of them doing something, and then they just kind of disappear for a
What
while.
kind of things do they do? Does it say?
Just some curious rituals,
Disappear.
some sort of secret meetings and things. They just
The sort of
it's very
things
vague. It
cults
seems weirdly
do,
vague.
yeah.
Okay. And then we've got the Missing. What was that again?
It's just about these 5
People.
people.
Oh, the
that
5
go
people.
missing.
Every
do
10
know.
years or so, 5 people disappear on the same day.
And then we've got the Mistake.
Oh,
which
it's more.
was-
It's more. It's the same day than the same types of people. That's right, because you
Yeah,
said
the people don't seem to be
are
connected in any
quite
way.
different.
We've got the Mistake, which was a dance cover up. We've got the Boy, which is
Me.
Yo Banjo. We've got the Monkey, which is this weird munchy statue we're now lumbered with. We've got the Cure, which was the bloodline that cures. We've got the Pieces, which is the
It's
Anatomy.
about the
Yeah.
skeleton. Yeah.
Something about a
The
skeleton.
weird
Now that you can read it in more
skeleton.
detail.
We've got the Devil, what's the Devil?
It was,
A lot of police
Oh,
reports
about
on
the
this
car.
car, which again, now that you're reading them, you can see that some of them are a lot newer than 20 years. Now that sort of thinking about it, you realise that the file cabinet stood out to you because it looked newer than everything else in the room, and these files don't seem to have degraded in
So
the same
they've
way that the
kept
patient
it
files
up,
that you've grabbed
yeah.
has. So this file seems to have been put in there
Almost like
since
they knew that we
the
wur
building
coming.
was
So-
Well, just they've
abandoned.
updated it.
Maybe he was
recently.
maintaining it then.
So what was the cast thing, sorry, with the Devil?
It's a red muscle car that has been seen at various murder scenes, but doesn't seem to be
Oh.
directly linked to any of them.
But it's always the same car.
It's always the same car.
And then we've got the Truth.
Was the
It was a book that drives people to
yeah,
Oh,
that's
suicide.
the
Yeah.
book.
And then the Danger, which was empty.
Yeah.
Okay. What do we want to do next?
So I guess we all know that what happened to James is that he went to the island and never came back.
Do we know
Seeing
that?
as-
Depends if you're all depends how
Okay.
much detail you're all reading through the files. Morgana certainly read through that file.
I
You'd
mean,
have to go.
I mean,
you have to read that file in a fair
taking-
amount of detail to spot
Okay.
his
On
name on
another
this
basis
clue
entirely.
list.
Is she going
Entirely.
to say anything about it?
Find
Are
it
you gonna
interesting.
get your computer guys to do a quick search to see if they can turn anything up on those WX names?
He was already doing that. Yeah. He
yeah.
hasn't found anything yet.
Did you find anything interesting?
Can I speak to you alone for a moment?
Yes.
You guys can step out into the bar, which is closed now, but the owner's happy to let you. He's just tidying up a bit and
So where are we? We're back at the flight.
back at the Flying Fox. You guys are in the back room. They step out into the bar.
I can trust you, can't I?
Mm.
Because I know that things have happened to you, and you've obviously done some weird stuff today, which I can't explain. But I'm gonna keep your secret, whatever it is. Did you see? There was lots of folders here, and one of them I think is to do with where I come from. I don't want the others to know yet because I don't know if I can trust them. I know you do, but it says there that they're looking into this island, and that's where I'm from, and that's where James died, and he was looking into it.
Okay.
So I just wanted to tell you because I think you should know, but I don't trust the others enough yet to tell them.
Cool. I reckon it's about time you probably trusted them because I think tonight we've all gone through something and have all discovered something. So I think it's probably a little bit step too far now before thinking that they're not to be trusted.
I don't know, I think that guy, Yo Banjo, there's something about him that you don't know.
I think there's something about us all that we don't know.
Until he tells me what's going on with him, I'm not telling him what's going on with me.
Okay. Can I get him in?
No.
He goes,
Because we're at a bit now where we need to share and compile
I don't
all
think we
all
do
this
need to share
information.
because I don't see what are this. I still don't know what you want from this. I'm just telling you because I think it's relevant to you. But the whole point of this is to find out where they are now, WX, and what they do. I can't risk my family's lives just for you.
Your family's lives, what, in this island that you came from?
Yeah.
Where James died.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't trust them enough to put my whole family's life in his hands.
Why would it be putting your family's life in danger?
I don't know, but I don't know what his point is. He's been looking at me strange and touching me oddly, and I don't trust him yet.
Well, I'll talk to him about the touching.
I've had to have words about that before. The first time we did our meditation it was a bit handsy, if I'm honest.
It's just one of those. He just likes to.
It's very affectionate.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I mean, just give me time, okay? And maybe I will trust him eventually, but I've been carrying these secrets with me for a long time. I can't just spill them all in one go.
Can I let him know that James is in that island folder?
Yeah, but I might not answer his questions.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Just that he's looking for answers for James, so...
Okay.
Meanwhile, they've stepped out into the other room. You guys want to do anything? You've got the files in front of you, presumably other than the... Did you take the island with you, or did you leave it?
I left
The
it.
little files are all there.
Do you, maybe we should swap files. You can read all about me, and I'll read all about you. In the name of openness.
Knock yourself out.
Thanks.
Okay, you're going to read each other's files?
Yes.
Sure. Your banjo's file's quite detailed because him and his mother lived at a WX facility for many years before it was destroyed. Well, it doesn't say that it was destroyed in the file. The file just sort of ends.
This burn mark.
There's obviously information that was being sent from there. And it talks about his what they were doing this. They were testing his abilities, his telekinetic abilities, and helping him develop them in more detail. And they're talking about how his mother was a demon, which is a vague word you've heard before. Like sometimes it's dashed about when something strange happens that a demon did it, or like you hear demons. We're in the world we're in has a superhero feel to it, and there's one superhero of note in this country, who's generally referred to as the Lady Justice. She's a kind of a Superman-esque figure.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's lots of rumours of other people, and these people with strange powers are sometimes referred to as demons, but only in a, as far as you know, just a derogatory way of saying freak,
like
basically.
euphemism, yeah.
Yeah. But this file seems to be using the word quite seriously, which you've not seen used before. And she was some sort of... it almost refers to us as a kind of fertility goddess, or a creature of something almost not like a succubus, because succubus is kind of evil, but something more like a more a kindly version of this kind of goddess of fertility, or creature of fertility, and how she was uniquely gifted in this way, and how they used her to incubate other life forms. Trying to get your freakish backstory. And how she was quite motherly and nurturing, and she was quite happy to help them in this way, and how she could hold life not in the way that you would understand a human woman would, but how she could kind of nurture life inside her that was when it was weak or when it was dying, and help it to grow back to full health, and then she could release it again. From a physical concept, it sounds kind of like birth,
Yeah.
but it's more spiritual than that. It's more abstract.
Okay.
And again, you're probably going to thumb through your own file at some point. This is sort of
Yeah.
news to you. You know sort of what happened, but this kind of how it worked is news to you. You weren't like privy to any of this.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what the game should be called.
It's a sad story. So your mother was some kind of mutant. And
Surrogate, mutant surrogate. And they were using her. Just like they were clearly using the danger, if that's what it was. Back at the base, I feel kind of bad about leaving him there.
we don't know what was in that file.
Garrett's file speaks of a strange man who came to them one day. They were doing medical experiments, just sort of get students in, give them some cash, do some tests and whatever. It's like flu camp kind of thing. And his file speaks of a strange man who came to them just randomly one day, responding to one of their adverts. So they went through some IQ tests and things like that. And there was something off about him, but they weren't sure what it was. So they invited him back and kept increasing his pay to tempt him to come back. It seemed he had an uncanny luck of some sort. It seemed coincidental at first, but it became increasingly abnormal. Like something was watching out for him, to the point where their experiments started to become quite extreme. Like they would have a selection of vials, all apart from one was fatal, some sort of fatal poison. And they would mix them up, randomly pick one, inject him with it, and then he wouldn't die, because by pure dumb chance they injected him with a placebo one. So their experiments verging on the cruel, but none of them they always worked out in Garrett's favour. At one point it was decided by higher ups that they should extract Garrett and take him to one of their other facilities. On 3 occasions they attempted this. The first one, he was in the facility at one of his routine tests and they drugged him, but then the fire alarm went off and they had to escape from the building, and the drugs seemingly didn't work. Garrett went home, had a really good night's sleep, as you remember Garrett that night, but you don't remember why, so they didn't manage to drug him and take him away. The second time they decided to send an extraction team, who all got food poisoning the night before, and ended up not going on the mission. The third time they sent another extraction team, and they crashed their van into a tree on the way to get him. They then stopped trying to do this.
Jesus, Scout, do you know how lucky you are? Clearly don't. You seem quite downbeat for the luckiest man in the world.
Just modest.
His file has, no matter how much research or notes they have on him, they have no idea what this is, what this phenomena is.
I thought I was a freak.
Well, you know, gotta use what you got.
So after a moment, these Adam and Morgana re-enter the back room. I'm going to say that Paul and George have probably gone home by now. It's quite late. Ringo offers to hang about if you want, if you need some muscle, if you think you might, he will. And John is busy working on his computer.
Cool.
Do you want Ringo to hang about?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So he'll sort of hover about like your bodyguard. What does
You
Paul
can
do?
keep an eye on the door in the streets.
Paul is the brains.
Yeah.
Okay.
What did we discover about the fire? Have they reported it? Have they?
Oh yeah, the fire's been reported, it's been responded to, and it's been put out. That's all. The building was abandoned. Luckily, no
Have we got any
fatalities, no
reports?
casualties.
No one no fatality.
No, in fact, not that it's been reported on the radio, and the fire seems to have not done substantial damage, but the building hasn't been destroyed as such.
I wonder if you can put out fire as well.
Quite possibly. Can start it.
James,
I'm still bothered by the
James's
fact-
name's in the island folder.
James.
Yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
your friend.
I'm gonna have a listen. Listen.
Have a listen.
have a
Play
read.
the audio
read
tape. I
through
don't have
it.
time for reading. Dictate it to me.
What is this island?
From what you can see from the folder, it speaks of an island where speaks of an island. There's a lot of myths about this area. There's a series of islands called the Lost Way, and this particular island has a lot of myths about it regarding sirens and mermaids and typical sort of myths of the sea. But some of the more detailed stuff that they've got into is they suspect a clan of otherworldly beings, or demons, if you will, or whoever, live on this island and have a kind of a unfavourable attitude to anyone outside. So it's quite dangerous to approach potentially. They don't know for sure. They know that the locals definitely avoid it, and it has that kind of siren-esque feel to the story where, you know, they lure sailors to their doom or whatever.
So, he was in it. Your friend.
He was in it.
Yeah, he's listed on the crew of this ship that went to try and find the island.
Did you ever know anything about this?
I know that he went missing, and I know that he died.
Are any of these?
Well, you have my sympathies.
Are any of the reports? Are they? Are any of them handwritten? Are they all typed?
In which one?
The most you said in that island. There's recent ones as well, isn't there?
The island seems to have the most recent because it goes right up until the expedition set off. It
Yeah.
has no record of what happened to it.
And the devil.
Actually, the
also?
Devil's probably got the most recent
Yeah.
reports. There's reports that are probably only a few months old in the Devil. Of
So
murder.
some are
months
kind of
old.
yellowed
Yeah.
and...
Oh, that's
Is there
weird.
any
Documentary
handwritten
printers.
documents?
The fact that the reports in the Devil only go back about 5 years.
Oh, okay.
No,
What's the oldest file then? My file?
The oldest file is.
Can we tell that?
Probably the Monkey, actually.
Is it dated?
It'd be the Monkey or the Truth. They're quite old.
Are they dated?
There's lots of
Oh.
myths. Well, the files themselves aren't dated, but there's lots of the reports and things. The Monkey and the Truth are probably the oldest. But there's in the island, there's like ancient texts that have been copied into here that tell of myths and stories.
I see. So they all indicate that the research has been done relatively
Research has
within
been done,
the last
yeah.
50 years. So.
Yeah, in fact, probably most of the research in this, other than your file specifically, has been done since the facility was closed.
Morgana, do you know anything about this island?
So they've been adding to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what were the islands around my island that I would know of that people have actually been to?
You none of your people have been there.
No, but like regular people.
Oh, there's other islands in the Lost Way,
In the
sort
Lost
of
Way.
archipelago, whatever it's. I think that's
What's
the right
one
word.
of the islands called?
Name an island. Who wants to name an island?
Who are yeet?
Uait. Uait.
Uait. Are we going with that?
Uait.
Uait.
Yeah, there's some villages on there. Simple folk.
Okay, so
Simple fishing
yeah, I know.
communities.
I've heard of that
With limited
island.
language.
Yeah.
I met James because his ship stopped off on my island, Uait, and
Uait.
Yeah,
Uait.
that's my island. That's what it's called. It's on the Lost Way.
Lost way to pronunciation.
That's what my island's called. Make fun of my island. It's just rude.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty racist.
Yeah, it's pretty racist. But yeah,
What's
that's
the race that comes from Uait?
well, I'm clearly white, so it's just racist.
She's very white. She's very unusually pale.
Well, it sounds like
Colour
they'd
isn't
be
a race.
Uaitians.
Anyway, he stopped off at my island as they had a few pop-ins
En
of their
route.
ship. He was there for a long time and we met, and I was going to come with him to this place. I didn't think it was a real thing, to be honest.
The
I
Lost
mean,
Island.
No, it's the island.
Quite defensive, aren't
Well, this
I
place...
mean, The people
Great
from my
place.
village have always thought it wasn't a real thing, but no one's ever really decided to go that way just in case. So my parents wouldn't let me go with him, but we agreed to meet back on the mainland, and he never came back and met me.
So he could still be on the island.
I
Who
mean,
knows?
maybe it's been years. I waited a long time for him. I waited a year for him.
But you didn't see his body or anything, so you don't know he's definitely dead.
Maybe.
Is that true?
But I've kind of course I always have hope, but I have to sort of accept that he's not coming back.
Does sound like your affection for him as a friend, maybe. So,
Your banjo, your wife whispers in your head, "Are you buying this?"
Not at all. I mean, she's not even a human.
you're talking to yourself?
No, I'm chanting.
Such a weirdo.
It takes over me sometimes.
Sure.
I
Okay.
need to calm my enthusiasm and my sorrow and all of the emotions I'm feeling from today. It's a bit overwhelming,
Yeah, it's
to be
very
honest.
emotional day.
So we think this James was just a cog in the machine.
James is a good man. He would never do any of this. From what I've seen, any.
Well, what's he doing on a crew now?
And from
Yeah.
what
What
what you said, though, he was
Unhappy about,
not recruiting, but gathering information.
yeah.
So it seems like
I suppose that's true.
Maybe if we go to Uoid, we can go from there to the island. Perhaps your family will help us get to the island. from
My
the
family will
island.
never let me go to the island. I'm not superstitious, but they are, and they believe that if you go there, then you will die.
But we can go.
You
The
can go
family
if you
can
want
help us.
to. I'm not going back. I'm not I really betrayed my family from leaving my island and going to the mainland, so I'm not going back. But you
I
can
mean,
go.
I don't wish this to sound offensive, but it does sound a bit backward. Would be a bit rough.
The island.
Yeah, I don't know if you could handle
Yeah,
it.
it does.
It's
City
a
boy.
wowie place. It's not like here.
Are there any drinks machines in the room? Can I just rumble it slightly?
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, just one. Isn't there?
Shake it gently and look at
My
Morgana.
favourite
I
weapon.
don't know how that would help you. I mean, you're welcome to go and try and die if you want to, but I thought the whole point of this was to find out where WX now, and
Well, yeah.
yeah.
Well, what have we found out? We found out that they're even more dubious than we thought.
Yeah. That we're all. That they've had a hand in our abilities so far, at least.
Adam, you can see from your files, probably the thinnest. It's mostly about the accident and the cover-up, and they seem to have given up surveillance on you before your powers manifested.
oh,
Right.
So they don't necessarily know about me.
That's good.
Is there any other instance of other things they've had to cover up in that file as well?
Not in that
Or
one.
in any of the files that we've gone through?
No.
Where's the next lead? What is the next
I mean,
lead?
Well, have we got any feedback on the search on those names?
I mean, I presume not at the moment. So
Nothing
if I
seems
don't
to have
think
come
on
up,
names or anything. So
Have you
just
searched-
going right back to basics. So we wanted to look into WX just because we all know we're all a bit
linked somehow.
strange,
Yeah.
linked. We found a facility. What have we learned? That there's potentially more of us, and
I mean, we've got this monkey.
we've got a monkey.
Yeah.
You all look back to the table and you can see the monkeys sat on the table staring right at you.
Is it worth trying
Was
to
it,
examine that?
was that looking at us when I put it down with his back to us, didn't I?
Do you remember?
well, you can hang on to that. It won't be coming back to my flat.
Should we take it to a museum?
Just sell it. It might be worth something.
Do you have any archives where you could keep it all kind of
What do you mean?
What,
Things you're looking into?
A storage bomb.
storage?
Probably in
Yeah.
a storage unit. Yeah.
Storage
Yeah,
unit.
yeah. like a safe. Probably got
Yeah.
a safe here to put like cash and a few things and stuff in.
Might be worth keeping it. Maybe in a safe somewhere else.
I got a safe in my apartment.
Oh no.
Like a safety deposit box.
Yes.
Is there
You've probably
any-
got a storage unit in like a big yellow, whatever they're called.
Big yellow storage. It's just one great big massive warehouse. There's a little monkey. I mean, what do we want to do? Because I've always presumed that maybe, from talking to Fluke, that this company had kind of maybe made us like it, but for now I'm thinking it's different. I think it's something much larger than that.
They're definitely testing people like us.
Well, they've definitely always been curious about anomalies.
I mean, someone's been keeping these files up to date
Mm.
for at least the last few months.
And this concerns me because this is after the facility was closed.
I mean,
Yeah.
I
You
think
saw how
we've,
abandoned it was.
as well as the links that have coincidentally linked us together, what we've done tonight, I think, has bound us in more of a way.
Yeah.
I want to know from you guys what you kind of want to do about it, because if we just go our separate ways, then that's what we do. Or do we want to continue going down avenues to kind of find out more about this?
So we either.
Well,
There you
I'm behind you. You know I'm behind you anyway.
You're kind of his only friend.
go. Oh.
Well, we can either try to find other people like us through the files, or we can try to find some sort of headquarters.
Well, this is true, but do we know where to start? Are any of these files specific enough that we've got addresses or locations?
What happened
Can
to
we check
that
the number plate for the red
paperwork
car?
from that invoice? When John gets back tomorrow, we
I've
should
got
get
that.
him to
John's
look
still
that
here.
up. Oh, John! Hi, John.
I've been monitoring the police call-outs. Is that not what I'm supposed to be doing? Should I have left?
John, can we borrow you for a second?
Sure. This is headphones down. Comes over.
We've got this invoice, stationery invoice. Could you look it up and see if WX is still ordering from the same company, and if so, where they're getting their deliveries taken to now?
Yeah, I mean, I can try and hack their accounts, I guess, and see what I can find. Sure.
Thank you.
I mean, I couldn't help but overhear a little of what you guys were saying.
Which bit?
It's just about all this sort of weirdness. I don't ask any questions, but if it seems like whoever this is still researching
Yeah.
these files, then I mean, if you track these down, you might find them who are also tracking them down. That was just a thought that I was.
Yeah, I guess
having.
you are all tracking them down. And
Well,
you
which
all
of
have
these files are most up to date? Which will
The
look
devil.
The car.
like they've been?
Can we look out for the car?
What's the
Do you-
reg on the car?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Are there photographs of it?
There are, yeah.
Is there
So
registration?
Can we make the registration?
Yeah, there's registration. You
Is
can,
it the same one in all the photos?
it is, yeah, definitely the same car.
Maybe John could look
Tinted
up the
windows, so you can't see if
registration.
anyone's inside or not.
Maybe we could get also John to look at the registration of the car.
Yeah.
I think what went down tonight is going to get back to WX anyway. I think we have just kicked a hornet's nest. and I
Yeah,
think
I'm
we
not
could
sure
start-
we've even killed the man.
I don't think we have, by the sounds of things.
But who was he? I'm convinced he was a doctor rather than a patient, which is odd in itself.
Did he recognise you or
No, I saw him from a distance,
right?
but he seemed to be a man with powers himself.
Yeah.
So what have they done to him to develop those in him? Or did they always have people on staff call who powered themselves?
He may have been the danger,
Well,
and he was obviously left there to guard. He can't leave it. He can't leave that place.
this is one assumption, but we don't know what's in that file.
He said he won't leave it. Yeah, we don't know what's in that file.
So who could be coming here to get the file?
Wouldn't know where we are.
What's the monkey doing?
It's the monkey
It's
change.
just sat on the table, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, still sat on the table looking at you.
There's nothing else. Have a look at it. Nothing. Just gold.
Just a little gold statue. With a big cheeky grin.
Like an Aladdin.
Does anyone else know of any stories of any of these murders with this car?
Is there anything in the newspapers about?
If you're welcome to do a library newspaper photo
we'd have to
research
go
montage
through-
at some point. Classic.
Taking out the
Classic
book,
crime drama.
scanning on the table.
Well, you could do your investigate.
Yeah, but you've not heard of it before, no. I mean,
Okay.
you've heard of some of the
Can
murders
I-
you recognise, but you've heard them in the news, but you don't know anything about the car.
Can I spend a fate point to use my knowledge of
to come up with a plot.
underworld contacts of anything to do with reminiscent of these murders and the red car that's been...
Yeah, actually, you probably could. Okay, yeah. No,
Right.
you are aware of a sort of bruiser for hire who was known for driving a very expensive red muscle car.
Bruiser for hire.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is as he. You don't know what happened to him, but you haven't heard from him lately. You just heard sort of stories of this car.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, "Oh, that awesome car that this guy used to drive," but it's not active anymore, as far as you're aware.
Would any of my gang know of his like contacts or anything, or last time, or how he was reachable last time?
No, but you could probably won't probably be too difficult to find somebody who
Yeah.
did if you wanted to go down that avenue.
Yeah, I know of a guy who, a big bruiser who used to drive that exact same car.
What the same car?
Well, similar. You've
Similar.
only heard it by description.
An expensive red car
Hmm.
of that description.
So you think he's been employed to drive it?
Well, I don't know. I haven't really heard of him being around on the scene for much longer, but I'm pretty sure I might be able to find a way of speaking to him or getting in contact with him
If he's still alive?
if he's still alive.
How were these people killed?
They were all beaten
Well,
to
the-
death.
Beaten to
Did
death.
the car run them over?
No,
No?
they were beaten to death
The car
in their
appears
homes
to-
usually, or sometimes on the street.
Is there anything that links the people who were killed?
Not that you can immediately
No.
see.
They were all killed.
They're all dead. That links them. Not immediately obvious from these files. No,
Okay.
Were they all killed in the same way, though?
they were all beaten. Yeah.
to death. So the MO is the same.
Yes.
But it looked like, I know from his work, he could have potentially, looks like it's his kind of work that he would do.
Can we check out some of the
So
Garages
maybe he's working as an
around
enforcer for
the way, or is there anywhere where muscle cars, like where muscle car enthusiasts hang out and race their cars, or like
Fast
somewhere
and
like
There would
that?
be illegal street
Yeah,
racing,
yeah.
isn't that? Yeah.
Can I do a streetwise roll it? I've got any knowledge of that.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Mm. 4, I think.
Well, that's +1 on the dice.
Yeah. So it's 4.
4 total. Yeah, yeah. You're aware of illegal street races that this kind of vehicle would be involved in.
Maybe we should go down and see if anyone there knows of his whereabouts.
What
or-
time is it now?
It's like gone midnight.
It's gone midnight. Yeah. Okay. So,
I mean, they're more likely to be
Fun
holding
time.
the races.
well, you
Yeah.
guys. Well, no. Well, I'm going to wrap up now anyway.
Oh.
So you guys stand overlooking the devil. Seems like your best lead at the moment. It appears to be. And you guys stand there in the back room, looking over this assortment of files. Some of them disturbingly about your own lives, and you've formed a makeshift team for now. See where this leads from here.
Cool.
Sweet.
End scene.
Yeah.
Fade to credits.
Yeah.
I quite like that. Was quite a nice end shot actually, from like pull back through the table covered in flowers with the four of you stood there.
And the monkey, yes.
Yeah, with the monkey in the middle looking at you. Cool.
Knows.
That's
Cool.
where we'll end session 0. That's the setup I've got for you.
Mm.
The setup. Cool, guys. Well, hope you enjoyed that.
Cool.
That was good.
So we're
Do
going.
you
We're built
think
into the
you'll
world.
get an edit out of it? How will
Oh
you
yeah,
edit it?
yeah. Well, that was session 0. More coming soon, and the
Brilliant.
ongoing campaign, which we haven't named yet. We'd figure out a name. We'll figure out before this goes out. This won't go out till 2018. Till after Christmas, so we'll figure out a name by then somehow.
Yeah.
A surprising thing to hear back when this is released, because we might have a name by then.
But cool, thanks for listening. Do subscribe, like and subscribe, and give us a review on iTunes if you can. And
Yeah.
Just tell your friends. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Great input, Christopher.
Chris agrees.
I might just replace this with the pre-recorded outro. So yeah, no, thanks for that, and stay tuned for more shenanigans in this world. What more can be said that I didn't just say a minute ago or like several months ago when that was recorded? Please do find A Game of Fate on Twitter and Facebook and all the other places, and find my other show, the Deleted Scene podcast. But also remember to find Flitter Films, that's Flitter. That's Flitter Films on all the usual social media, as well as YouTube, where you can listen to this show, as well as some of our other highlights from our other shows and our short films and web series. There'll also be hopefully more content going up on there soon. Once again, please do like and subscribe and give a review if you can. We've really enjoyed making this show and we want to just keep making it for as long as possible. Just a reminder, next episode will be part of a one-shot game with our new cast, but then this cast will be returning to continue this story after that. So don't worry, there will be some conclusion to this story, hopefully. Drop us a tweet at A Game of Fate Pod. Let us know if you're enjoying this, if you like the campaigns, if you like the one-shots, what do you like to see out of us, what we're doing wrong, what I'm doing wrong specifically, what we're doing right. We'll get better as we go along, but please do let us know how we're doing. We appreciate the feedback. Drop us a review. Don't be afraid to say, hey, this sucks, or whatever. Actually, no, don't do that. I'm very insecure. Well, I'm a rambling idiot, so I better go. But thanks for listening, and please do keep tuning in every couple of weeks for more episodes of A Game of Fate, the Fate role-playing podcast. Bye for now.